take chances when there's...
Hi everyone! Welcome to the second episode of The Man Who Made Us Bend. The last video introduced how products are deliberately made to break, so we buy more. And in this episode, we'll reveal how merchants used every tactic, from paranoia to reassurance, in order to unlock our primal instincts and stimulate our impulses for consuming. Dr. Daniel Sister is about to perform his famous signature, Dracula therapy. The treatment begins by drawing a vial of blood. Afterward, he extracts the clear plasma from your blood, and he will inject it back into your face. The growth factors in the serum are supposed to make skin look and feel younger. Although cosmetics benefits are yet to be clinically proven, Dr. Sister still had success at selling it. He did one thing well. He created anxiety. People are afraid of aging and want to stay as young as possible. And he turns that fear into a 550 pounds injection. What he had done that is really clever is tap into the fear and provide people with a solution. Most of us like to think of ourselves as savvy consumers, alert to any attempts of manipulations for our emotions that make us spend. But market selling strategies are keen to bypass our rational brains and frame appeals to our subconscious. To learn about how fear marketing works, the team interviewed an esteemed anthropologist and psychologist, Dr. Raphael. Clotaire Raphael has been 30 years on advertising companies as diverse as Kellogg's, General Motors, and tobacco giant Philip Morris. He had turned fear into a different kind of business. This chateau is one of the 6 properties he owns around the world. He believes that our primal desires always dictate our conscious choices, and breaking the subconscious code is the best way to sell to consumers. One of the main tricks is to exploit people's fears. For example, by the early 2000s, SUVs accounted for over 20% of American car sales. Millions of car buyers were reassured by the security SUVs offered, but they were not led by reason. Their made impetuous decisions are based on emotion. In reality, the SUV's very design made them less safe, not more.
SUVs are twice as likely to roll over as regular vehicles. About 60% of SUV accident deaths involve rollovers.
Cars are the perfect product that provides security, tapping into our survival instincts to sell us protection. This notion of soothing our fears has almost endless potential for getting us to spend. And this strategy has brought considerable profits to advertising industry over decades. Advertisers take consumers' anxiety as a target. They want to create anxiety for the audience and tell them something they don't know.
What is glossophobia?
Glossophobia, or speech anxiety, is the fear of public speaking.
At last, you introduce a magic solution. And this kind of advertising technique owes a lot to this man, Stanley Reassure, one of the pioneers of modern advertising. Reassure took over ad agency J. Water Thompson in 1969. The rigorous training program for college-educated admin was about psychology and human motivation. In other words, how to manipulate consumers. Reassure believes that human beings are masses of individuals who come together, fight for food and safety. And the only thing they will respond to is fear. The first product benefit from these insights is Listerine. Nobody cares about halitosis before Listerine came along. But the company creates the anxiety for bad breath by advertising.
And even your best friend won't tell you. Why take chances when there's such a pleasant, extra careful precaution? Listerine.
And the oral solution that has obscure antiseptic property helped the company's revenues rose from $115,000 to more than $8 million in 7 years. The manifestation of fear marketing life, drugs. Henry Gatson, president of the world's largest pharmaceutical company, is unwilling to sell drugs only to patients. But to make people to rely on their products, they must implant fear about illness and death and allow people to believe that they are chronically ill. The Glaxo company was the first company that virtualized this concept. At the time, Glaxo launches a new type of medicine to treat heartburn, Zantac. But soon, they had a problem. Zantac is a prescription drug you usually can't get in the local pharmacy. They will have to be persuaded to visit the doctors instead. But still, most of them will go to the local pharmacy rather than visit doctors. They develop a new disease, GERD, to solve the problem, and exaggerated the seriousness of the disease and turned heartburn into a far more scary gastroesophageal reflux disease.
Most doctors agree it's normal to suffer occasional heartburn, but when it doesn't
This
go
technique
away,
caused our
diagnosis
anxiety
might be
successfully, urging people to find doctors for diagnosing and get prescription drug. There's another example. In the late 1990s, a new drug came on stream, statin. In 2014, 8 million people in Britain alone took statin every day, but only the third of them has suffered from heart disease. But despite this, people still can't get enough of them. Vice Chairman of British Medical Association, Dr. Chandler, his opinion as a GP, thinks millions of people worry too much about cholesterol. He also believes that statin has been overprescribed. However, letting people to take statin is a dereliction of duty for the doctors. Dr. Chandler's view might be controversial, but one thing is for sure. We're obsessed with statin and cholesterol. But cholesterol is only one of the reasons that cause heart disease. But drug companies make cholesterol into the only reasonable cause and implant people with the concept that high cholesterol is equal to heart disease. In 1999, Bob Erich was in charge of consumer marketing campaign for a powerful new statin called Lipitor. And he needs to let his products stand out from the crowd. Lipitor does not have proven medicinal effect for heart disease, but it is able to lower cholesterol levels. They went out to spread the idea that cholesterol is the only reason that causes heart disease. Therefore, lowering cholesterol can reduce the possibility of heart disease and lower the death rate. For patients, taking statin is the easiest way to solve the problem. Meanwhile, for the financial connection between National Institute and Lipitor, they decided to lower the standard of cholesterol levels.
The government came out today with new and aggressive guidelines for treating millions of Americans at risk for heart disease.
Overnight, the number of people that risk from high cholesterol grew from 13 million to 360 million. It is a boost for Lipitor's market, and more of us need to lower cholesterol.
Not only for medicines, it is hidden in different aspects of our lives. Public hygiene. Antibacterial products appeared. And with them, thousands of germ-killing products, from hand gel and kitchenware to mouse mats and even children's toys. Consumers wanted everything to be antibacterial.
Do the shake and back and put the freshness back. Do the shake and back and put the freshness back. Shake and back in 3 fragrances.
But can antibacterial products really get rid of the germs? The director of Lipton School's Hygiene Center, Dr. Val Curtis, performed an experiment. Jack washed one of his hands with plain white soap, then his other hand with special antibacterial soap. that claimed to kill 10 times more germs than the others. And after viewing both hands under the UV light, he found that both kinds of soap achieved the same result. Because the fear of bacteria has been embedded deeply into our minds, consumers are no longer concerned with whether the antibacterial soap is more effective than traditional soap, as long as it relieves their fear, anxiety. But how did it all start? Keurig's success hugely comes from stimulating fear of germs and encouraging more people to wash their hands and buy antibacterial products. These companies were well placed to take advantage of occasional healthcare or pandemics such as swine flu by propagandizing it and spreading fear into the crowds. There is a primal desire in all of us to stay clean and healthy, and companies target our feeling of disgust and needs for purification, providing us a way to relieve them. Marketers tell us that we have to stay healthy and stay away from disease, selling us the idea that ordinary food was no longer enough. They told us that we needed food and drink that would give us extra protection. Healthy products, such as vitamin water. Vitamin water is basically sugar water with vitamins, but is sold for very expensive prices. The manufacturers of vitamin water claim that it is enhanced with vitamins, and it is even bottled in this clinical packaging to convince consumers that it is healthy. But in 2009, the Advertising Standards Authority ruled that vitamin water couldn't be considered as a healthy drink because it contains nearly as much sugar as Coke. Yet people still thought the vitamin water was an easy and enjoyable way to gain good health. They really believed that this soft drink could protect them from disease. Thus, marketing for vitamin water now focuses even more on its health-enhancing properties. Vitamin Water's company even suggested that certain ingredients in their products could reduce the risk of colds, chronic disease, or cancer. Manufacturers earn huge profits from taking advantage of our primal desire to stay alive by promoting products that claim to make us healthier. Next, we will introduce another problem that everyone is affected by: aging.
We went to high school together. Honey, this is
Nintendo's Brainage, a game which claims to make your brain younger by making your answers simple questions. Based on your answers, the game machine will reveal the age of your brain, and you may find that your brain is older than you thought. Even if you're only in your 20s, the machine could scare you by claiming that you are 60. Then you'll keep playing the game to make yourself younger. But in fact, the brain age of all players may be lower than their real age. Why? Because telling consumers that they have an older brain will trigger their fear, making them want to do something to play the game more often, improve their brain age. But in reality, when a little machine tells you that your brain is getting younger, does it really mean that it is? Most likely not. Brain age is only a program with no credible scientific evidence. Then, why will we still believe it? Because manufacturers exploit our fear of aging in a very clever, sophisticated way, and this is what drives us to spend. And people are not only afraid of their aging brain, but also their bodies, and this fear has created a lucrative market. In an annual anti-aging products exhibition held in Las Vegas, the exhibition is filled with all kinds of products, like lipo machines, that claims to remove body fat, with painless laser light, socks that claim to regulate body heat, make blood vessels dilate, and contract based on your body demands. There are all kinds of products and medicines in this exhibition, and here, salesmen are giving everything they have to make anti-aging a very effective and reliability industry. But the interesting thing is that none of these products have been clinically proven for their effectiveness. Consumers are buying these products solely because of businessmen' claims.
After watching this video, you may find that the other motivation factor for consuming is more fear than desire. And the merchants exploit this fear in the right way. And the brilliant part about this approach is that you would believe it is worth paying some cash for those. But have you ever wondered if these terrible results are actually true or they are exaggerated versions from the merchants? Before buying something, you can think about, why do I need it? Does my body need extra medication? We can choose to make decisions after appropriate considerations, so we can avoid manipulations from our emotions and avoid unnecessary spending and behaviors. If we act together, the merchants will not be able to control us, so we can hold our own strengths and become our own master. Go after your goals and do not be manipulated. Thanks for watching.